When I first saw the trailer of Pada, my first thought was that there hasn't been a lot of Malayalam movies where, there are people taking other people hostages, that kind of a situation. I thought, well, that's new, you don't have a lot of movies like that. The quick movie or scene that came to my mind a long time ago, I think in the 80s, there was a movie called Anaval Modram starring Srinivasan and Suresh Govi, So there was a scene in that movie where a particular guy takes, goes into a grocery shop and takes a bunch of people hostage. So that was the only scene in my mind from Malayalam movie, where they have that hostage situation. So Pada seemed really interesting when I saw the trailer. But then I came to know that this is actually a true story. It actually happened in Kerala. And I was shocked, and then I thought, okay, wow, this is going to be a really interesting movie, and I wanted to see it. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch it when it came out in movie theaters. Recently, it came out on Amazon Prime, and that's how I was able to watch it. So here's my review. Written and directed by Kamal K.M, starring Kunchako Boban, Vinayakan, Joju George, Dileesh Pothan and Prakash returning to Malayalam cinema after a little bit of an interval. The movie deserves a lot more attention than it got at the time of its release, mostly because it tells a piece of Kerala political history. Without going too much into spoilers, this movie is a socio-political thriller based on real events that took place in Kerala in the district of Palakkad in the year 1996, where four men identifying themselves as the Ayangali Pada made their way into the collector's office under the pretext of having a meeting with him and then proceeded to take him hostage with a handgun and dynamites, kicked all the staff out and locked the doors and windows. The four men had only one demand: to repeal the controversial Adivasi Land Amendment Bill that was passed by the Kerala government and enforced by them as well. The collector informs them that he alone cannot change the law, as this is a legislative action passed by the Kerala government. The only thing that he can do is enforce the law. To which the Ayangali Pada replies that they're going to hold him hostage until they change the law. That's the main plot of Pada, and how the situation is resolved forms the rest of the story. Now, there are several political ideologies discussed between the characters. I'm not going to go much into that because there's a lot to discuss. But to summarize, the Adivasi community, or the indigenous or tribal community as you may call them, are a protected group of people with land assigned to them or given to them for their protection. With the Adivasi Land Amendment Bill, Kerala government can take away the land from this protected community and then assign to others, which is what happening back then. As a result, this protected community or the Adivasi community was losing their land. In short, this new law was oppressing the people who did not have the voice or the capability to fight back. As a result, the Ayangali Pada is their voice, and them taking the collector hostage is their way of protesting against this bill. Now, coming to the performance, every actor who has been casted for a particular role in this movie plays it to perfection. They're not acting, they're living those characters. Everything feels real. There's genuine weight behind each person's words and action. Special mention to Samir Tahir, who's done the cinematography for this movie. As a quick reference, just go back and check out Minil Murli. He's the guy who did the cinematography for it, and every frame just looks gorgeous, and that's what he's done over here as well. The movie looks great. Every scene feels like there's a lot of energy and passion behind it. But the real star of the movie is the director and writer, Mr. Kamal K.M. He was aware of the fact that he's telling a very serious story. So there is a somber tone throughout the entire movie, and it's sustained from the first scene you see to the very last scene, because the subject of this movie is extremely serious and it needs to be handled with that seriousness as well as sensitivity. However, the writer-director knows that he is talking about political ideologies, so there is a genuine effort not to dramatize it too much or to lecture the audience, because at a point you can feel a little weighed down by all the discussions and topics that they're talking about. So he keeps everything to a minimum. There is a basic discussion, sure, they tells the basic idea. At the same time, it intercuts to the police and other people trying to negotiate the situation, their way of thinking, their way of guessing what the hostage takers are planning, etc. So it walks a fine line between being a social movie as well as a political movie as well as a thriller. Kamal manages the seriousness and political tone of the movie along with the pace, and that's really exceptional, because the pace of this movie is quite fast, I have to say. A little over 2 hours, every scene felt like it was engaging you. At no point did I look at the clock or my watch or my phone, because I was fully engrossed in the movie to see what was going to happen, as I didn't know the story or what actually happened over there. In short, Pada is an engrossing watch and another jewel from the Malayalam film industry. My rating for this movie is 4 out of 5 stars. It's a fast-paced, well-made movie that talks about a chapter from Kerala's political history with the right blend of seriousness and entertainment. Don't miss it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up icon and of course subscribe to my channel. I look forward to putting out more reactions and reviews along the way. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.